Here we are. Okay. So I'm just putting on a little note here for TikTok. I have TikTok on my phone. I don't know why I was looking at the camera instead of right here. And I absolutely cannot see it because the sun is shining through this great big window here. And I realized that in a lot of my lives and my videos where I'm sitting in my craft area, I'm always super overexposed with light. And that's because there's a giant window right there and I don't have any curtains on it. I could put curtains on it, but I just haven't. So yeah. Anyway, welcome to the live, whether you're here right now or you are watching this in playback. Last time I went live, it was on Christmas Eve. I think it was on Christmas Eve. Or was it Christmas Day? I don't remember. It was around Christmas, and I was beading eagle staff for my community, and that's what I'm working on today again. So yeah. I also have my children here right now. They weren't here before, but they're here today, and they're being fairly quiet right now. They're just hanging out. But if they're noisy, sorry, not sorry, they're kids. That's what they're gonna do. So yeah. Let me show you some. Hi, Xylee. Real quickly. Okay, before I get into what I was gonna say, this is my friend Xylee. Her channel is called Xylee Gets Real. Go and pay her a visit. She does commentary on usually public, like social media personalities that do things that need to be criticized. And she likes to pick a lot of topics that have like nuance and give her commentary on them and stuff. And I also act a fool in her comments just to, I don't know, because that's who I am. So hi, Xylee. Anyway, the whole time, with the occasional getting angry and actually participating in the nuance. But yeah, so I am working on an eagle staff today for my community. Hopefully TikTok can see. If you are on TikTok, I can't see your comments because my phone is way out of my view in order for you to see the beadwork. So yeah. Backstory, if you don't know, my tribe, we don't have an eagle staff yet. The eagle staff that we've used in previous years belonged to our community college, our tribal college, but it's not an official like Bay Mills eagle staff. It's a Bay Mills Community College eagle staff. We do have a flag, but not a traditional flag, which is what an eagle staff is. So an elder in our community decided that he's also like the head of our cultural program. He decided that this year we're going to make a tribal eagle staff, and he asked me to do the beadwork on it. And he also gave me liberty to just kind of do whatever I wanted to do in terms of like design and stuff. So I think last time we did the strawberry here, the O'Damon. And when you see the staff completed, it'll be upright. It'll be on its side. TikTok, strawberry, right? This is a pike. It's because our tribal land is called Gnoje Kaning. Gnoje is for pike, and we're the place of the pike. So I decided to do a pike, and then the elder asked for different florals. This is the design here. Oh dear, can you even see that? Yeah, so a lot of traditional like Ojibwe beadwork is done on like velveteen or something. I'll definitely take a I don't remember what it's called right now, a sticky thing and get all the cat hair off of it. But this black background is going to stay. This isn't going to be like a fully beaded thing. So because of that, I have to put the design on the back, which proves it to be a little more difficult. Anyway, today what I'm going to do is the eye of the pike. And last time I had a few people notice this thing right here, which is a quilting loom. And I just got it at my Joann's. So because I had a few people that were interested in it, I figured I would just, I guess, show me putting it on. So it has these things that go over the pipe. Sorry that I'm so overexposed with light. It's kind of hard to see, but I don't know. I got a few things done in terms of like beadwork since I went live. And I just felt like instead of just working on it today like I have been, I would come online and shoot the shit and maybe just talk a little bit about my methods, what I'm doing. So, okay, how did I do this again? I'm trying to remember. I believe I put this against the surface that's going on the outside. So I put the material wrong side up, and then I put the loom under the material. That's why I'm only doing half of the pike at a time, because I can't put beadwork under these things. So what I'm going to do is, I guess I'll do this one first and then I'll pick it up and show you. So I'm going to press this on there and it'll kind of just hold that there. I'll do the other side. It's kind of a pain in the ass because the velveteen's thick, and then I also have like this black canvas and the stabilizer. So yeah, there's that, and then I'll show you me doing this. Oops. I'm just trying to pull it as taut as I can. Yeah. So thank you. That's gonna look so good when done. Thank you. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's I'm doing it a little slower than I had planned to. I thought I would be moving on a lot quicker because I have to do 2 sides. I think I said last time that I wasn't sure if I was going to do the pike on both sides or if I was just going to do the pike on this side and nothing but florals on the other. I haven't made up my mind yet. And then I also have a few other ideas of like beading Ganoje conning on there, which is a very long word per Ojibwe usual. But yeah, so I want to use yellow for the eyes. And of course, it's all the way in the bottom of the bag. Looks kind of like needlepoint setup. Is that what this loom is for? I guess, yeah. All the crazy little designs that people do in quilts. I know that I do a lot of beading, which is a very patient and tedious project, or medium, I mean, to use. But when I see like the squigglies and stuff on quilts, that's what I look at. That is what I look at and think to myself, ain't nobody got time for that. That's where I draw the line. Let's see, are these the same yellow? Golden yellow, golden yellow. I think that's all the yellow that I have. Yeah. So I guess we'll use golden yellow for the eyes. I think I want to use a little bit of red as well. So how is everybody doing? I realize I probably have fewer people in the live right now because I gave you guys literally like a half an hour to assemble. Last time, I think you had quite a few more hours to learn that I was going live, but like I said, this was a spur of the moment thing. So I'm still wanting to do a ribbon shirt series for my channel. I do have 2 videos right now, a part 1 and a part 2, describing how to measure, draft, sew together a ribbon shirt. But I realized that since it was one of my first ever videos, also filmed on my iPhone 8, the quality of that video is absolutely terrible. It's abysmal, horrific, awful. I really dislike it. Can't speak today. So I want to refilm it. In addition to disliking the quality of the video, there's just a few instructions in there that I've updated for myself. So yeah, I want to do a more thorough, better filmed. The thing is, I'm not going to be getting to that quite yet. And I also want to make the ribbon shirt for myself. I am a woman, and ribbon shirts typically are worn by men. And I see a lot of conversation online where females, women, or anybody that presents in a way that they might get questioned for wearing a ribbon shirt because that's a man's thing, you know? I've been seeing them talk a lot about wanting to wear a ribbon shirt, and they're like, why can't I do this? I'm like, you can. So that's another inspiration to make a new ribbon shirt and make it for myself. All right, so I got my beads out. This is going to be interesting. Trying to give both TikTok and YouTube a view of what I'm doing. And maneuver this giant project at the same time. So I have 2 lines in this eye here. I think that inner circle I want to just keep it black and not bead anything. And then this first line, I'm going to do red, and then I'm just going to fill with yellow outward. And then depending on how quickly I finish this, I might even do a flower, a few flowers to do, and a fin before I can move on to the rest of the fishy fish, the ganoge. So I'm just applying some red beads. I'm also working with size 10 beads today. I think the typical size for me anyway is 11, but I think most people use size 11 beads. And the reason that I'm doing that is since this is a rather large project that I have to do a lot of beading, I figured it would save me a little bit of time, but also it's an eagle staff where the beadwork needs to be visible from far away, I guess. So I figured bigger beads might make the work bigger so that those in the crowd can see. Okay. Now I want to go the other way. Can you get out of the kitchen, please? want you messing with water. Jeez, I thought that was one of my younger ones, not the older one. So let me just peek and see if this is even working for TikTok or if I should just move them in front of me too. It's not even working for there we go, I guess. Thoughts on the... Oh my god, I can't see that. Let me get up real quick. I want to see what this says. Thoughts on the Freemasons. I don't know. I don't have any thoughts. And I'm not sure what Freemasons are. I think I heard of them. I might have watched an Illuminati episode on that, actually. But I don't remember what it was about. So this is the fun part, is having to work with the design on the back. So fun. Oh my god. If you're here right now, or if you're watching the playback, how would you feel about a cosplay construction video? I realize that that's not exactly like the Indigenous content you signed up for, but I just ordered some fabric for a cosplay project. I shouldn't have, because I don't have time for this, but it's been on my mind for weeks and weeks. So if you want, I might as well film it and put it on the tube, you know? So let me know. I don't really want to say what it is just yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to just take TikTok and put them in the front, because I feel like they can't even see. Yes. You say yes. Big window. How do I make this go? Flip camera. Okay. There's a reason you don't remember. It's a conspiracy. If it has been on your mind, it seems maybe someone on the other side is trying to get your creative mind going. Maybe, because this cosplay, it would involve a gown that I would have to draft myself. And I obviously I have a lot of experience with drafting my own garments and stuff, but never anything to that level, I guess. Nothing that intricate or whatever. Can I put you right here, or will you fall? Poor TikTok. Always on the back burner for what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see. I already dug out my dress form and draped a little bit, just some extra like muslin fabric that I have. And it's looking like it's going to be quite a challenging project, but I just can't stop thinking about it. And what ended up making me kind of fold and purchase the material is the most recent Bernadette Banner video. If you don't know who Bernadette Banner is, she is an amazing YouTuber. I love her content. And she does a lot of like historical reconstructions of European clothing. Particularly, she focuses a lot on like the Edwardian era, but she does other stuff too. But she recently posted a video about this. I don't remember what the show was, but it was some show where the lady was wearing a dress she really likes, and it appears to be like a 17th century era from Europe, and she wants to reconstruct it. So she like went out shopping for the fabric and started draping on her dress form and drafting, and I was like, if Bernadette's doing it, I love her too. And it's not even just like the stuff that she makes, the garments that she makes that are amazing, or her talent that's amazing. Don't get me wrong, that's obviously the main reason that I watch her. But her editing skills, she just makes like really pretty, enjoyable, interesting content as well. American Duchess shoes. What are those? Are those like reconstruction? Is that a reconstruction brand? I wish I could afford shoes from there. Yeah. A wheel of time for sure, because not only does she talk about sewing methods and like reconstruct the projects, but she actually sews on the machines. Like she's got an 1890 machine. She's sewing it all by hand. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. The last time I sewed an entire project by hand, I'm talking about like sewing garments, not doing bead embroidery, was when my machine was broken and I made my son a Halloween costume, and it was like the day before Halloween. And he was 2 years old, so it wasn't even that big of a project. Okay, kind of unsure about this. Let's see if it ties together. It was kind of it's looking wonky so far, and I don't know how, because I followed my line that I drew. Because, I draw perfect lines. I'm kidding. Kind of. No, that's fine. This is fine. I'm working on sewing up a mini clasp purse with ribbon roses and bead details. Almost finished after 3 days. Wow! Oh my god! If you have me on, like Twitter or Insta, show me it. I'd love to see it. That's what I'm a little surprised about with this project, is because a lot of the time when I get going on a project, I get super hyper fixated on it, and I like don't stop or do anything else until I have it done. And I kind of did that last week. I bought a couple spools of yarn, and I made a shirt that looks like the lesbian flag, and I could not put it down. It took me 2 days to make it when it should have taken me like a week. Okay, that sounds good, Momo. That many shows. So it is like a reconstruction site, hey? What's it called? American Duchess. You know, that kind of sounds familiar. I'm picturing like leather boots that would have been worn in like the late Victorian, early Edwardian era. By the way, if I mysteriously just, if this live, just like, it's because we have a winter storm going. So who's to say the power won't go out? All right. Here's the red circle. I was thinking about how I was going to do this eye all night because I haven't planned any of these colors for like any flowers or anything. I was just deciding as I was going. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do a more natural look for the eye, like, you know, a way a fisheye might look, or if I was going to do more of that Ojibwe style of what am I trying to say? Sorry, the Ojibwe like woodland colorful type art. Bernadette designed a pair of shoes too. Of course she did. I wish that I had, if I were to pick the type of YouTube channel that I would have, or like social media influence, no, not influence, personality that I would have that would make it a job and not just something that I do for a hobby, it would be like a Bernadette Banner style channel. Maybe not completely like historical fashion, but I would recreate tons of, I think I would focus on like the 30s and 40s in terms of like historical or vintage fashion, but also Indigenous stuff as well, or cosplay even. Cosplay would be super fun. I've been wanting to get into it. That's why I just cannot stop thinking about this cosplay that I want to do. I've never done cosplay before. I love Halloween, and I do pretty well at making my Halloween costumes. In fact, this last one, I was Hela from like Thor, the Marvel Universe, Hela, you know, and I won the contest. I did really well on the costume. So I'm like, I have the skills, I have the interest. I love characters. I love when I get into stories, whether it's a movie or a book or whatever, I really do fall in love with them. So not in, I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is why I do mostly edited videos. Thanks, Siley. So I might as well do it, right? I should have just ordered that fabric weeks ago. Don't be scared. There's different levels of cosplay, I think, too. There is buying a costume that's made from like any kind of cosplay website or whatever, and then dressing yourself up in it and taking pictures or whatnot. There is completely reconstructing it yourself to look realistic. So for instance, if you have a character that wears all leather, whatever, you're either going to actually make leather products or items, I mean, or you're just going to I don't know, use styrofoam or whatever kind of material and just make it look like leather, but you're going to focus on like realism and actually looking like you took that character's clothes and put them on. There's also variants. I see this a lot with like Loki, the character Loki from Marvel. I see people do a lot of Loki variants, but you can do variants for anything. And that's basically taking just a few of the elements that make the character unique, but sort of, so like Loki wears the horns on his head and he also has like a cloak. So you might just wear the horns, but I don't know, wear a green dress or something. But there's also just sort of buying clothes that look similar to the character, just like I'm talking like regular clothes. I stumbled across a video on YouTube where they were talking about Indigenous fashion from the 18th to 19th century. It was really an eye-opener how they really took European style and mixed Indigenous style. Yeah, like ribbon skirts and ribbon shirts. Also pants. I don't fully know these histories, obviously, and I could be wrong. But I think that pants and jackets were also sort of adapted from European style. You know, they made pants out of leather and like would put fringe on the side or whatever. There was a lot of exchange back in that time. And in fact, me sitting here beading, that was an exchange at that time too. Was Indigenous folks getting our hands on beads and doing creations with those. Whether we beaded vests, bags, moccasins. I don't know every tribe's sort of history with like embellishing their stuff, but I know that for Anishinaabe, our more traditional style of embellishing our items was dyeing porcupine quills or, you know, using other things, but I mean in like in place of beads, it was porcupine quills. And then we got to hold on beads and now we do both. So I don't know. I was just sort of talking or touched on this subject anyway on Twitter the other day. Because somebody said that ribbon skirts weren't traditional. And I was like, yeah, I mean, true. Because ribbon skirts and shirts were a product of like cultural exchange. But I would say that they're traditional now because everything was new once upon a time. And that's exactly what I said to them. I said, I bet buckskin dresses were new before too. Maybe I should do research on that and get back into video essays. I just watched one earlier today, a video essay by another creator. She's called Shanspear, and she's amazing. And I briefly thought, like, oh, I should do another video essay on something. And I didn't think of, like, what yet, but I don't know. Those ones are the harder ones to do, the harder videos for me. I enjoy them once they're done. And I feel very passionate when I get like hyper fixated on the research part. But before embarking on that journey, I have to be sure that I have the time and the mental capacity to do a video essay because they just take so much out of me. And I don't have that right now. So They also mention how expansive the trading system among tribes was, and because of it, many items like copper, stone, and various materials found itself in tribes across North America. Yeah, I have talked a little bit about that in a video about sage, which I don't know. Some of these old videos that I made, I just feel like privating them or something, because the sage one, while there is information in there, there's a few things that I would like to, I guess, correct or provide like my newer opinion on. But also it's like a video that's in retaliation to somebody being shitty on the internet. So yeah. But the reason that I bring that up right now is because of what you said. Particularly like white sage is from the West, and it's also a traditional medicine for my tribe. And we are not in the West, we are in the Great Lakes area, and we got our hands on sage because of the trading system. I'm trying to make this more visible for you. So since I'm beading in a circle, I'm actually tacking down every bead right now. Oh my god, it's absolutely terrible out there. I live in northern Michigan, if you do not know. In the Upper Peninsula specifically. And I don't know. It's terrible here in the winter. Gosh, the last time I went live doing this and I didn't have much to talk about, I had music to listen to keep me entertained. But I can't listen to music on YouTube because YouTube sucks. Take that, Susan. I'm only tacking down every bead right now because I'm going in a circle and I want to be sure that this remains a nice circle and not a wonky oval. Normally, say if I'm doing this straight line, I might do, I think I did, I would say I might do every 3 beads, but because this is an eagle staff, I think I did every 2. So usually I'm doing about every 2 beads. But depending on what you're doing, you can do more than that. We got like 2 feet of snow a few days ago in Wisconsin. Yeah, oh my gosh. It just depends on where you are, on whether or not you're in like a snow belt or not. Where I am, we're just so surrounded by water that we get tons of lake effect snow. Ouch. But I will say this winter's been kind of mild. Take that, Susan. Oh, the baking cookies streams, I think it was because I thought about that today too. I think that was because YouTube could hear my kids in the background. From what I remember, I believe it told Miracle something about because it could hear kids in the background and it was marked like content that wasn't for children, that she was sort of violating that act. That's like if the content isn't for children, then yeah, it had to do with that, I think, with there being kids in the live. And I have my kids here today, so I was like, please, I hope they're quiet. I don't know how well you can see anything. I guess I can kind of make this go down a little more. Random weird rules. Yeah. I mean, like, I get why there's rules when it comes to, like, the kid stuff, but that was just unfortunate. Like, a live about baking cookies was taken down because you could hear kids in the background of it. I'm like, how could they hear, like, how could they tell that it was children in the background? I don't know. But I do remember seeing, because my kids, they like YouTube. Now they watch a lot of shit about like Minecraft and like video games. But when they were younger, they would watch like videos about their favorite cartoon characters like Peppa Pig or Elsa or whatever. And those videos would, like, some people would fuck with the animation or use those characters to tell like violent stories or something. So you'd see one time my kid, he liked the duck song, where he waddled, then he waddled away, waddle waddle, you know. And he was just like, what I thought, innocently watching the duck song one day, when suddenly a man comes up and like just shoots the duck with a gun, and there was like blood everywhere. What is this kid watching? And that's when I learned that YouTube had a huge problem with people doing that just to be degenerates, just to do awful stuff for kids. I'm so used to see the flower style of Anish. That is a real treat for me. Aw, thanks. I sort of struggle with the Ojibwe florals almost as much as I struggle speaking. I just struggle with making it random, but also organized and symmetrical. I'm still trying to find that balance. We were joking, her and the other creator, when that happened. It was funny. And we tried like 4 times or something. Like, it turned off, and then we'd start another live, and we were like, we don't know what happened there, but okay, we're all back. Let's try again. And then it would shut off again, and we just kept trying until eventually we were like, okay, it's not happening today. But we still made our cookies. I remember I made Nutella cookies, and then I shipped them to her. And then she also shipped me the cookies she made, but also a plantain, and the plantain was like moldy and stuff when it got here. I just realized TikTok doesn't have its note anymore where I'm saying that I'm talking to y'all. I don't know if there's anybody watching on TikTok anyways. So, I just started playing a new video game not last night, the night before last. What? The video game isn't new, but it's new to me, I should say. And it's absolutely terrifying. I think we got to talking about video games in the last stream as well. But I really like horror video games, scary games, and I also like first person, like shooter type games. So what I'm playing right now is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, because I played Village, which is the 8th Resident Evil. Absolutely love it. Village was amazing. And I'll give you a hint. The cosplay that I want to do is from Village. That's how much I loved it. So Village is a continuation of 7 of Biohazard. So I decided to go get Biohazard and play that, and it's so scary. You can't play scary games? Man. They're just so thrilling. Like, I don't care for scary movies. They don't do anything for me. Which I know a lot of people really love horror movies. I don't really care for them, to be honest. But scary video games are just so much different because you're in it. So, yeah, I like actually jump and scream and stuff. And I just love all the monsters. I'm trying to decide whether I want to do one more row. Because I feel like another row is going to bump into here. So I'm like, do I want that? I guess I can. I know what I can do. I'm just going to pop my needle right there and add a few beads and see what it looks like. And if I like it, I'll continue. And if I don't, I'll tie off and start a flower, I guess. Yeah, it looks too close to the edge. So I'm not going to make the eye any bigger. The eye will be that small. It was supposed to be bigger. I'm an old school. I played Diablo. My stepdad plays that. And with new release of the remade, hubby was into Resident Evil. Would watch, but don't play. I would swear too much. You know? So, when I first got my live enabled on TikTok, I thought it would be fun to play a video game on there. So I put my phone on a tripod in front of the TV, you know, and I turn on Gears 5, which if you're into horror, Gears 1 and 2 are the more spooky ones. Gears 3, it's a little toned down on the spookiness, but it's still good. But all of the following Gears are just, they're interesting and fun to play, but they're not necessarily like scary anymore. So anyway, I was playing Gears 5 and I got banned from going live for a week because of the way that I was talking to my video game. What kind of scary? For Gears of War, Gears of War is a first-person shooter. You know, like Call of Duty or whatever, but it's against like monsters. They're called the Locust, and I think that the first two games are more spooky because they do like jump scare you sometimes. That's what's making me itch out a tag. They do jump scare you at times, but also it's like the lighting and the graphics, like the vibe, the scene that is set. It's spooky, and after the third one and beyond, it's sort of just brighter graphics, well lit, I guess. Yeah, okay. I'm going to tie this off and get started on a flower. Resident Evil, on the other hand, holy. So many just like jump scares and like spookiness, and I'll be like too scared to take my character into the next room or whatever because I'm like, what's gonna happen? And for some reason, I find that fun and enjoyable. So, hi, Gino. But there is another game that I want to play that has actually been called like one of the most terrifying games as of recent, and it's called Visage. I think I talked about it last time too. Visage. I've just watched gameplay of it on Twitch, and it's absolutely terrifying, and I want to play it. So yeah, I think that's probably why I'm taking much longer on this project. Actually, I thought that I would swing this out in like a month, and it's been two, maybe almost three. And I'm nowhere near completed. And that's because I'd be spending all my time cleaning my house and playing video games. And buying supplies to do a cosplay and crocheting shirts I don't need. Okay. Here's the eye. So that center, that black center, that's not beaded. That's just the material behind. I don't know if you can see TikTok. I don't think anybody's in here, but in case you are, that's what it looks like. And now I have some like little flowers that I can do. I also have these like berries, and then I also have this big flower. But I think I want to just sort of work my way down now. I also had to do this fin, but I'm not going to do that today. I think I'm going to do a flower. So should I do them like forget-me-nots, which are white and then blue? They kind of look like forget-me-nots. I think that's what I'm going to do, which means I have to put all these beads away. They got my little bag of baggies that makes me look like a drug dealer. Sorry, I just got a message. Xylee, Miracle sending something in the chat. She looks offended that nobody looked at it. I'm dealing beads. I got red ones, yellow ones, green ones, blue ones, all for a good price. You name it, I'll let you know. Yeah, she just said, like, all right, then, I guess they're bad or something. And then I see an unsent message. I'm like, oh, I'm busy, okay? Shoot, I've already been on live for an hour. It really took me that long to be that little eye. I guess I did do a little bit of talking in the beginning of it. All right. Yeah, this is why I never pour. I'm not actually angry, by the way. You don't gotta tell me to go smudge. I got this. So hopefully y'all are doing well and not being caught by Omicron. And if you are, I hope you are healing well. And that I am satisfying your boredom of being quarantined. I'm feeling like I need to get my my StreamYard back so I can actually have other people on the live with me. Because, man, if I'm by myself, I don't talk very much, as you can see. I've already kind of sort of run out of my topics, but if I had other people with me, it'd be a podcast, I swear. Once me and my friends get going, there's no end. Need one of those Slurpee straws to scoop up the beads. Oh, good, Xylee. I'm glad. Got that editing going on. Knocking that content out like it's dollar bills. White. Okay, I already have some white poured out in a Peppa Pig bowl. That's what I do. I use children's dishes for my beading. But I want blue now. Which actually here, this looks like a pretty good forget-me-not color. It looks so bad on the YouTube camera, but on the TikTok camera, it looks really nice. I'm sorry. Okay. These hanks are so tangled up now. I realized that the anniversary of like what really made my channel sort of take off to what it is now is coming up, or is usually around this time. So I had to go and double check right before the live started to see when that beaded eyebrow is posted. And it was on February 3rd. So I'm kind of wondering if I should. I didn't do anything for it last year. I'm kind of wondering if I should do something for it this year and just be like, hey, remember when I was an idiot and y'all loved it? All right, so I am trying to anyway, poke right in the middle of, I don't know what to call that little circle that's in the middle of a flower. Is it like a pad? And I'm applying one bead to it. And now I'm going to go around that one bead. So I just remembered this. Let me know in the comments or wherever if you prefer to have all uniform size beads, or if you like when your hank of beads has beads that are like some are wider than the others. I'm just wondering, because a lot of people, from what I see, just like conversations online and, you know, in my groups, is quality a lot of the time is determined based on whether all the beads are uniform. For example, what are those beads called? Delicas. They're all the same length. And they're super expensive because of their quality, which they are really nice for other reasons. But I like it when the beads are like some are wider and some are skinnier. Yeah, yep, Delicas, which I've never worked with before, by the way. Oh, me up against this black really overexposes me to the light. Holy. Anyway, yeah. You know, good idea. But yeah, particularly when I'm like filling something like these leaves, for example, say I get to just a tiny little gap near the point. It's like those skinny ones are great for filling those without messing with the shape of your project. But also sometimes it's nice to put, say, like either 3 skinny ones in a gap or 2 thick ones in a gap. And you can't really have it in either other way. I like uniform beads for weaving or fringes, but for flat stitch embroidery, I prefer a variety, right? And that way you can find little teeny beads for filling gaps. I guess, I mean, yeah, for your previous comment where you're like for bead weaving or fringes, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because if you're counting, you know, okay, I'll put 5 silver here and then 10 black. It's like, if they aren't the same size on each fringe, then your design's going to be wonky. Oh, I should probably not the end, hey? Jesus. This has been an interesting project, though, in terms of what I'm used to. For one, I'm not used to beading something this big. The biggest thing I've beaded are a pair of leggings, which are big, but they also don't have all this dangling. But also, I'm used to the size 11, and these are size 10. So I've kind of had to adjust my style a little bit. Thank you. Oh, gosh, I hope so anyway. Because this beadwork here is for the entire community. And, you know, unless they make a new one, it's going to outlive me, you know? So, which I guess I can explain again, just in case there's anybody that wasn't here in the last live or when I started today. This is an eagle staff for my tribe. We don't have an official like Bay Mills eagle staff. The one that we have always used belongs to our tribal college, but obviously we are more than our college. So an elder in the community who also runs our cultural program, he decided he wants to gather some community members together and make a Bay Mills eagle staff, and he asked me to do the beadwork for it. So like he's having somebody make the pole or the stick, whatever you want to call it, for the staff to go on. He himself is working with the feathers and is going to apply the feathers. I don't know who is going to be sewing this material into like the actual flag part of the staff, like if he's having me do it or if he's having somebody else do it. I kind of sort of hope that somebody else though, because I've never done that, so I want him to pick somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to that. I love the whole design that's on the back. Thank you. The strawberry looks awesome. Good enough to eat. The strawberry is actually symbolic. For some reason, this is like stuck, this thread. This is great. But yeah, the strawberry is placed where the fish's heart is in the fish body. And it also has a line separating it into 2 chambers because fish have 2 chamber hearts. And the strawberry is the heartberry. For Ojibwe. So, oh, come on. I don't know why this is so stuck. Okay. What I do with my, here it is. I thought I was the only person who thought they look like a drug dealer with the small, with the little bags. Yeah. No, I have the mind of a degenerate too. It's fine. I'm kidding. First time catching a live, and I adore your content. Thank you. Sorry, I haven't really been able to make any of the content lately. It's been quite the year. Quite the years. Well, okay. I guess I'm just gonna give up on this. I'm trying to pull this thread back through, and it's not wanting to for some reason. So I give up. I have ideas. I just need some time, I guess. This project right here actually is one of the reasons that I'm not really able to kick out any content right now. So that's partially why I'm like, I'll just go on live. Because it's going to take a long time. So it would be months and months before a singular video would get put out. And the video would also be really difficult to film because it's such a giant project. There is something very profound with knowing that your work will be admired by future generations of your tribe. Yeah, that's the sentimental part of this. Yeah. That's why it's like actually it's a pretty great honor to be asked. Not only was I kind of impressed by myself because I'm like, this particular elder asked me to participate in this, but also because of that, because it's our flag, it's going to, so long as my beadwork holds up, it'll be used forever and will outlive me. Okay, so I'm going to get started on my first petal. Oh, you know what? I want to do a different petal. Let's see. Right here. This is a fun part about having your design on the back is I have to keep flipping the project instead of just looking at it head on. So it's a challenge too. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. It's only half of the fish for now. The other half still has to be done. I have to put stuff. I want to put, I think, lady slippers on the top. But I'm, just because there's a story about lady slippers in our area, or for our whole tribe, actually. But I'm still debating it, just because lady slippers also kind of look like balls. So I don't want anybody to look at our flag and be like, did she bead balls onto the flag? Remember, I just said debauched mind. Okay. Well, first of all, where does that... Right here? Okay. Yeah. It wasn't even my original idea either to put lady slippers on there. It was somebody else that I was talking about this project with, and they're very familiar with our stories, and they had a lot of different ideas for like symbolism that I could put on the flag or on the staff. But when they said, "Oh, put lady slippers on there," that was my first thought. Was like, lady slippers look like balls, though. Okay. Why are you running back and forth? What are you doing?
I'm getting milk. Dude.
Okay. It's coming along great. Thank you. I think all I've done since the other lives is just these leaves. Did the strawberry in the last live. Just finished the eye. So I have 2 flowers and then I have berries to put right here. And then I can... Oh, I also have a fin.
Then you can what?
Then I can move on to the rest of the fish.
Are you almost done with that?
Absolutely not.
What?
Nope.
Nope.
Don't yell at my babies. She was literally like running back and forth. Just poop, 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 poop by the doorway. She knows I'm live, that's why. She's always very interested when mom's doing stuff like this or talking on the phone with people. What are lady slippers? Lady slippers are a flower. They're a type of flower. If you would like, you can also Google them and you can see what they look like. Lady slippers are... What's a short way of putting this without giving away teachings on the internet? I guess lady slippers are, I don't know if they're what we like modeled our moccasins after, but basically the significance of lady slippers is they look like moccasins, Ojibwe moccasins. So, yeah, I guess there's a story about them that I don't want to tell here, but yeah. Lady slippers, and they also kind of look like testicles, so. Size matters in beading, where the beads had to make a fabric and mesh. Beading on top of fabric, I agree. I like the ones that are not all quite the same size. It gives the piece more texture. Yeah. And you can fill spaces without overcrowding. I still have my earlier pieces where they're just so overcrowded because I was jamming beads in there trying to fill spaces. Yeah. We'll see. Because I asked this elder who had asked me to bead these, I asked him a few times if there was anything that he was wanting. He said that he wanted florals. That's all he said. He didn't ask for the fish. That was something that me and another person came up with. But I asked him, like, okay, so is there anything you're looking for in terms of symbolism? Like certain items or certain amounts of items? And he was like, just go wild. Just do what you want to do. It's like, okay. How much did I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3. Wait. Okay. And I don't know if there's any symbolism for forget-me-nots. I just like them. I just wanted to throw them in there as a flower. I'm struggling trying to get this. Okay. So yeah, probably do more of these lives as I go on with this. I want to add one more bead. But I'll probably do some more of these little lives as I go on with this project. And then the ribbon shirt, and then that cosplay. I don't know why I was questioning whether I would want to do that on the channel or whether anybody would want to see it. Because I have done sort of non-Indigenous things on the channel before. Like the vintage slip. I made a vintage slip with a pattern from like 1939 or something. People like that. I also organized my craft room one time. People like that. Which this never doesn't surprise me when anybody likes to watch anything I do. Come on. I'm just trying to fix my tension in the beading here. There we go. Because I'm a 2-needle beader. Would you ever do more beading ASMR? I can. I have quite a few times pondered how to kick out more Indigenous ASMR. And part of the reason that I haven't is because I have kids. So it's difficult filming that content when you have a loud household. I realize I keep looking at the chat and not the camera. I'm looking at the chat right now. That's why. But also, I'm like, how do I make anything different. That isn't just the same thing anymore that I did before, I mean. Because I can't think of any other way to do beading ASMR without just doing the same thing over and over. But I mean, I can just so that there's different projects being looked at. I think I also had long nails at that time too. So I could do the nail thing. I don't keep my nails long anymore. Yeah. Yeah. These kids. I think when I filmed the ASMR videos, it was late at night when they were in bed. I wish you could see this better. Oh, I don't like that. No. This is one of those moments where having beads of various widths is nice. Threading that just reminded me. I remember in December I was teaching a class on how to make ribbon shirts, and I had a few elder ladies there, and it was just so funny how they like marveled at me being able to thread their needle really quickly. I felt like a rock star. Okay, so there's 2 petals. Oh my goodness. What's a way I can make it easier for you to see? That's the best I can do. Thank you. I just realized I'm not even really sticking with the actual shape that I drew, but that's okay. wish I could listen to music. Come on. Have you thought of cooking videos for content? Perhaps there's some sort of indigenous recipes you can create for us. I'm not sure how well you are at cooking though. I am not like a great cook. I don't know. I can do it, yeah, but I'm not somebody that I don't know how to describe my cooking skills. They're not going to make anybody like laugh at me, but they're also not going to make anybody go, "Oh my god, please make this again." Except for, I guess, my cornbread had people doing that when I would bring them to feasts and stuff. I guess I make good cornbread. I like making soups though. The only time that I recall cooking on my channel was actually a really fun video to make, and it wasn't necessarily cooking like a full like actual meal, but it was Navajo coffee. There's another native YouTuber. Her name is Sierra. Gosh, why can't I remember her last name? I haven't watched one of her videos in a minute. I think it's Johnson, Sierra Johnson, Navajo, and she made a video about showing people how to make Navajo coffee. And at the time, she was a pretty small YouTuber, and I, for some reason, was interested in like, oh, I should try the coffee and like shout her out in my video and stuff. That video of hers ended up going like viral. I think the YouTube, because I follow her on Instagram too, I think the YouTube Instagram posted the thumbnail of her video, and the video blew up, and she really, really gained a lot from that. And I think I gained a little bit too, just in the wake of her success with that video. A few years ago, before the plague hit, me and some friends were wanting to do a mukbang. Back when mukbangs were still, I guess, being experimented with by YouTubers who are not like mukbangers, I guess. But it fell through just because everybody was busy all the time. We couldn't really find a time to gather together and do it. But even though mukbangs aren't really trending anymore, I would still really enjoy that. So what we were going to do was make a few native dishes, native to here anyway, like something with wild rice, and then just get together and eat it and bullshit and film it. Of course, some fry bread. Gotta have the fry bread, right? But as for like traditional Ojibwe recipes, I guess I know some. I know how to mix stuff with wild rice, but I don't. I've never cooked fish before, but that's a traditional food. I've also never cooked with venison before. I know. Shoot me. Sue me. I'm sorry. It's delicious. But I've never cooked it. I've never been the one to cook it. As for res food, though, some like good res soup, I can show you how to make that. Some spam for breakfast. The past few years, I've been hoping to be able to do some hide tanning on the channel. But my uncle hasn't shot a deer. Chelsea gets on me for not liking squash, yells at you because you have to like squash. Squash soup is amazing. I love squash soup. If I didn't have a fridge full of HelloFresh right now, I'd probably go pick some. Or if I was able to drive out there, I'd probably go pick some up. How's your commod eggs? I don't get them. No commods for me. Although I will say that my grandpa, he gets commods, and a lot of the stuff that he gets, he just doesn't use. Like, he doesn't need 5 bags of flour every month, so he hooks me up with some stuff too. Can you cook smelt? No, I've never cooked smelt. And I've never actually smelted either. I've only gone up to the smelt creeks to drink and hang out by the fire. You get fresh eggs for commods. I'll have to ask my grandpa if he get eggs. He'd be like, need some juice? I got juice. Need some canned corn? Oh no. Oh, I thought I lost my needle for a second. Of course, everybody raves over the commod cheese. Maybe I should do a video essay about commods. Be like, you know, that cheese that we all love, there's a dark and sinister reason as to why we get it in the first place. One more petal. That brick of gold. Sells for the same price as gold, too. No, I'm kidding. Oh, where are all my thick beads at? Come on. Come on. All right, so this last petal is going to be a thick one. Oops. Well, I hope this cosplay goes well. The material cost me $50. I'm not the type of girl that goes out and gets muslin to like make a mock-up, but I think I might actually do that this time. For the first time. I've never done the whole mock-up thing. I usually just go straight to the material. Go straight to the project. Material girl. Sorry. Oh, I was just watching you on YouTube. You're live on both. Yes. Venison stir fry and venison spaghetti. That sounds amazing. The best spaghetti sauce that I've ever had was with wild game. I think she made it with moose. So good. I want to say she might have also put bear in there, but I'm not 100% sure. Which I know for some bear clanners, that's not optimal. But I'm wolf, so. Kidding. Rabbit? I've never eaten rabbit. My kid just said he's eaten squirrel. I don't believe him. I'm not like related closely to any hunters. I have hunters in my family, but they're like great uncles or like distant cousins or whatever. Nobody that I'm super close to. So a lot of what I grew up on was like res food, not traditional native healthy food. Now I'm hungry for venison. Oh. All right, there's the flower. It looks all right. I think with the big beads that I was using, it was kind of hard to maintain the shape that I drew. It's not a super defined flower, but I think it's still good. So I'm just going to tie these off real quick, and then I will try and get you a good look at this flower before I go. I'm sort of in awe of how well behaved my children were. I thought for sure that I was going to have to say excuse me and like go break up a fight or two. And hopefully I didn't speak too soon. I have a song I heard from TikTok stuck in my head now. That blasted app. Okay. I do run a kid Thunderdome. These children are wild. They're absolutely wild. Wild little heathens. Okay. It's not as bright suddenly. But here is the flower. See what I mean by it wasn't very, it's kind of not giving me separate petals. It's just looking like a, I don't know. But I think it's fine. And then here's the eye. And yeah, this is the strawberry we did last time. I did all of these little leaves in between the lives. And here I have to do berries. I have another forget-me-not, just like this, to put right here, but it'll be a little bigger. And then I have a large, let me just show you the other side, I guess. I have a large tulip style kind of flower right there. So yeah, that is my live. I don't know if anybody's on the TikTok right now at all. If you are, I'm about to end. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be going live again, but I will try and plan it around probably next week, actually. Because then I won't have my kids and I can be sure that I'll be able to pick a time and stick with it, and it will be quiet and peaceful. So we can talk. And I don't know, maybe I'll get my StreamYard going and invite somebody to come and chat with me so that it's not so boring. You too. You have a good day. I'm glad you could hang out too. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye, my P.